How's it going, ladies and Bruces? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to the Chronicles of Tal'Dun. In the last episode we made a deal with the, for lack of a better name, Fuzz Pants. So now we are Fuzz Pants' familiar. I guess we went behind Ilar's back because they were familiars as opposed to ours, and also he told us not to make a deal with anyone. Maybe because he was worried we'd like step in and take his familiar. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. But I'm sure he's going to kick our ass when we see him next. Or at least attempt. Oof. I landed on the hard ground, panting, running my hands all over myself in a panic. The currents and the heat had gone faster than they'd come. My skin is not a boiled nightmare. I sigh and lie back against the smooth stone. After a while, my shaky breath slows and I regain enough clarity to make a limb count. Everything's where it should be. It could be worse. I push myself up. Abyss Devouras buzzes a greeting. You again. I cover my face on my hands. Why won't you leave me alone? I thought you'd be glad to see me. Ilar. I whirl around and stop mid-step. It's as if they hadn't slept for days. Their eyes are sunken and their skin is paler than before. If that's possible. You look horrible. What's wrong? Everything, comes a dreary reply. All of it. Wow, as cheerful as ever, I see. Their faces as grim as death. I frown, reaching out a hesitant hand and cautiously laying it on Ilar's arm. Hey, what happened? They shudder and jerk away. Something in my chest tightens. I swallow and force out quiet words. If it's about the letter situation, I can give you space, if that's what we need. I made a mistake. Ilar still avoids my gaze. My waters. Are you drying up? I force a smile. Ilar shoots me a glare. Saying nothing. I hear my heart thump. This is worse than being attacked by a Lucasi, by far. I cannot stand it any longer and reach out again, wanting to give their shoulders a reassuring squeeze. What is wrong with your waters? A few incenses time, at most, is how long I can hold the Abyss Devourer, they whisper. We can still make it if we hurry, right? Can we? They stare at me with wide eyes. But before I can react, they chuckle dryly. I'm sorry, it's just the cost of the final ritual. At the rate we've been progressing, even if I can hold the Abyss Devourer till then, we'll not have enough waters to do it. Ilar looks at me sadly. It's this place. Their voice is glacial. Abyss Devourer, you and the rest. You'll be the end of me. Stop moping about and tell me what needs to be done. Then stop it, I throw up my arms in exasperation. Stop moping about like this. Tell me what needs to be done. I will not give up so easily. If we need more waters, we will get you more waters. They raise an eyebrow at me. Aren't you feeling industrious? Well, someone has to be. I give them my best confident grin. Ilar looks at me with a slightly raised brow, some of their gloom melting away. Have you made some progress? I grin and produce the scroll. I thought you would have more confidence in me than that. Why, he never has before. Ilar blinks at the paper before snatching it and eagerly examining its contents. They pore over the sigil, a smile tugging at their lips. Mention the blood-filled dream? Let's not mention Fuzzbands. We might get in trouble. Say, did something horrible happen in this place? Ilar says absent-heartedly as they study the sigil. I had a blood-filled dream. Ilar stares at the paper in their hands, working their jaw a moment longer before answering. What? I had a dream or vision, something very vivid. You were gone. There was so much blood. The floor was all red. I thought you... A mouldy, sweet smell enters me as I recall, making me nauseous. It felt too real to be my imagination. More terrible than this. Ilar gestures at Abyss Devourer with a humorless grin. It just feels like something. I wish I could send my thoughts directly to Ilar's head. Why am I so inept at putting things into words? Just tell me, did something horrible happen here or not? Ilar rubs their chin idly. It sounds rather like a dream, no? I'd remember if so much waters had been released here, and so would you. Things like that leave a mark. Feeling lighter in the chest, I let out a long-held breath. Whew, if you say so. I suppose you want me to go retrieve the mantra. No, we're going together this time. Ilar grows serious again. What? I thought you would fall apart if you get too close to the book. Fall apart? Do you take me for some wet paper? I give them a wry grin. So you feel the need to supervise me? Ilar chuckles. I was thinking more encourage, but if it must come to that, then yes, supervise. I cross my arms. As long as you can keep it together, or you'll just be interfering. Ilar smirks and gestures towards the desk. You just copy that mantra as fast as you can and leave me to the rest. If you say so. I give Ilar my own smirk as we turn to go. As we walk, I peer at Ilar from the corner of my eye. What would happen if they came too close to the book? Would they poof? Go up in smoke? Or more likely melt into a puddle? I gulp. Ilar looks at me as if they smell something extremely disagreeable. They wrinkle their nose, stop, and back away a step. Go on. I'll guide you from here. Their voice is gruff and strained. A vein throbs on their temple. I find my hands shaking as I nod and walk the last few paces to the desk alone. Don't be nervous. Ilar knows what they're doing, right? Calm yourself. Take 3 breaths, I say to myself, finding a small measure of calmness. Then I address the book. Hello, old friend. Bet you cannot wait to turn me into an icicle again. Naturally, you only need to ask. I mimic the would-be reply. Terrific. I knew I could count on you. I grin at my own retort. You're talking about yourself, Vyn. Please take this seriously. Ilar grumbles from afar. Ignoring them completely, I close my eyes, breathing deep. In, out. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the count of 10, I shall open my eyes. It is no more than 24 words. 1 word, 1 second, then I'll be forever free from that page. 8, 9, 10. I open my eyes. A frantic plea rings in my head. Not again, you fool. Why do you do this to yourself? Shut up. Not now, I mutter. Mantra, Ilar groans. Yes, I know. I break open the page with shaking hands and tight throat. The dry paper cracks and rows of jagged letters shiver to life. I steel my gaze and clench my jaw. Whatever you are, you will not defeat me. My eyes move over the script. My heart is mute to the words' meaning, but my lips move to the shapes of them. Ahindorehiti, Arindorehiti. Louder, please, I need to hear. From my throat, a foreign voice breaks the silence. Ahindorehiti, Hudasam Jayamarani. With an ear on the words, I hastily reach for blank parchment and quill. Light-headed, I wobble and plant a hand on the book for support, huffing as drops of sweat fall to the page. It's so hot. Why is it so hot? I want to call out to Ilar, but dare not interrupt the words. Hurasam Jamarani Sran Pahiti Dukan. Hearing the next line, I frantically jot it down. The quill may as well be made of solid stone. A discordant choir starts somewhere within the book, like bells being continuously scratched by needles. They mock me. I grip my teeth to stop them clattering. My hands are numb, and it's only half done. Sran Pahiti Dukan. Inkara Pasa. The bell choir overwhelms my voice and my vision turns black for a breath before returning. I'll lure her in a basket. Ilar, I don't know about this. You're not keeping me in one piece. My voice fails when I realize they're swaying, eyes closed. They come to, blinking and grunting. Keep going. This is a bad idea. Very bad, I mutter, trying to catch the words through a metallic chorus. It's singing. Singing is a bad sign. I shout through my constricted throat, feeling the vibration like sandpaper rubbing in my mouth. We stop when I say so. Do you hear me? Now quit wasting time and... A hollow huff punctuates Ilar's words. At the same moment, a sickening numbness spreads through my chest. All sounds fade. I watch wide-eyed as Ilar's form is torn into long strands that sway like a bundle of seaweed caught in stormy waves. Divana, I whisper, feeling a lightness in my own body. We'll be swept away at this rate. Ilar gestures at me with surreal slowness, mouth moving in silence. I grab the book with both hands and put my head between the pages, squeezing my eyes shut, trying to hear the words. Please, one more verse, just one more. As I beg inwardly over and over, my legs go numb. Please, one more. My mouth moves and my eyes shoot open. A familiar motion takes over my lips. There it is. Hashin Lunari. I manage to jot the last words as the quill slips off my flaccid fingers. That's it, that's the mantra. We've done it. Something tugs at my feet. I flinch at the phantom waves flooding the floor. The rapidly spinning cold waters is already biting down at my knees and fast rising, forming a vortex that drags me down. I try to run, stumble, and plunge face first into the water. The cold jabs at my skin like needles. Currents grip my limbs and twist. I start to spin fast. My eyes sting when I struggle to open them. All I see is a blur. Faster and faster I'm being pulled apart. Faster and faster toward a vortex. Pulled apart, feet, legs, torso, apart. Faster. Finally, with a sound of crackling, my head goes under. I come to a murky darkness. It's thick. Thicker than water. What is happening? Where am I? I turn around frantically. My movements are sluggish despite my haste. Something is pulling on me. A glowing sigil, shriveled and torn, its loose strands wrapped tightly around me. I call Ilar's name but hear only the sound of an ethereal stringed instrument ringing out from me. The sigil shimmers like a dying lamp bug. A lamp bug that whispers? I draw closer. Vyn. Vyn. Ilar, is that you? I reach out a hand to tug on it, then frown. Though I can feel my arms and hands move, I see nothing of the sort. No joints, bones or fingers. Just two smooth tendrils. Frozen in place, I glance further down. There's a glowing silver ovoid where my body should be. Lure in a bottle. I feel the same, but I definitely don't look the same anymore. How did we get here anyway? Did Ilar lose control over our heart vessels because of the book? Is this the sea? It sure looks like it. Do spirits live here? Does everyone change shape upon arriving? I poke the Ilar sigil and it glows weakly in response. Huh, interesting, I mutter, absolutely fascinated. I could tell we were still in the library, yet not entirely. Is this place some kind of weird mirror of the normal world? I wonder if the old me was here before. I am a magus after all. If this place is full of waters, then maybe... Suddenly something chirps next to my head. I shudder and whip around, tendrils flailing. It takes a few blinks to realize what it is, even though it hovers right in front of my nose. An eel, long and ethereal, so dark it blends into the void. Only a pair of glowing eyes are visible. It's looking at me... playfully? I drop my tendrils slowly. Hello? The eel lets out a chirp, swims headfirst into one of my tendrils and wraps itself around it. Whoa, hey! I try to shake it off, but a few breaths later I realize there is no pain. It's only squeezing me firmly. I give it one more for form's sake, then give up. Alright, what do you want? It stares at me with those beady eyes and gently snuggles into me. Seeing its winding shape on my tendril, recognition squirms in the back of my head. Where have I seen you before? I gasp, head bursting with excitement. Were you a tattoo on my arm? Are you my eel? The boisterous fish nods furiously and lets out a short, trumpeting sound. By the Divana, I shake my head. I have an eel friend, and it understands me. This is so exciting. Can you do things for me? It nods severely. Oh wow, like what? Can you fetch things? It shakes its head vigorously. Then, can you count or something? It shakes again enthusiastically. Oh, what can you do then? It chirps confidently. By the depth, it can't do anything. Even so, I can't help but smile at its silly tongue and cheerful manners, slimy skin and rows of menacing teeth aside. I give its head a tentative rub. Are you a good eel? Will you keep me company? It lets out a short trumpet sound as if to say yes, then rubs its head so hard into me that I topple over. It's cute, man. Terrifying, but cute. My surprised yelp turns into a laugh as it snuggles me aggressively. Alright. I flap my tendril to regain my balance. So, you're no mundane animal, obviously. Do you know where we are or what sort of body this is? I tap myself. The eel gives a short yap and within a few blinks flattens its body onto a perfect disc. I gawk in horror. On the disc's smooth reflecting surface I see a silver ball with tendrils. I'm an egg. The worst of it is, I can't even put my palm on my face. Please, Laura, say this is not permanent. I frown at the sigil next to me. I guess that is Ilar then? This is unfair, they got a better deal. I flap my tendrils, feeling my body move microscopically. Oh well, at least I can flap, I bet they can't. I give it a few more flaps for morale. What are these? A horrible sinking feeling pulls at my stomach as my eyes fall onto several jagged holes in my body, and an urge to gag arises. Ugh. As the very act of looking has disturbed them, they start aching like old wounds. I notice loose threads around the edge of the holes, like the ones on Ilar, except they're pulled taut like something is tugging at them on the other end, somewhere far away. With morbid curiosity, I trace the threads, squinting at the distant dark expanse. Way, way out, I imagine seeing little twinkling lights. Hunger, thirst, longing, they erupt inside me. Before I know it, the rest of the world vanishes and I'm rushing toward them. I want them. Then I blink and find myself in front of one. It looks like a fish made of living symbols, a language I've known and forgotten. My tendrils reach out by themselves and bring it closer to the hole that's tethered to. This fish's symbolic form unravels and weaves into me. Shapes and lines intertwine, spreading over the hole. I recoil at the burning. A few moments later, it reaches a painful climax and starts to melt into a comfortable numbness. Ah! I purr with pleasure and watch lazily as countless pinpricks of light spring out of the darkness. Pairs of them rush toward each other like eager lovers, vanishing with a spark when they meet. Hundreds of them, thousands, 100,000, turning the darkness to light. I squint as a shaded canopy gave way to a brilliant ambrosia sky. We emerge from the woods, boots rustling on the leafy path. They say the profounded sage passes on to a golden realm, where the sky is forever ambrosia, but I was never one to take hearsay as truth. I turn to Ilar. Do you think plants in the divine realm could photosynthesize in that golden light? Would they have red leaves? Ilar blinks once at me, then twice, then bursts into laughter. A gust of wind blew by just then. Playing with their silver hair, a flurry of fallen petals flew past us, making my heart quicken. Ilar's laughter splashed over the wide meadow. I stopped, hands on my hips, and waited for them to finish. They can laugh all they want, but I didn't think there were such things as silly questions, and I wanted my answer. But they kept laughing. The sky dimmed, I waited, and then it was dark. A sinking feeling fell over me like rain. Alas, it was only a memory. A nudge at my side pulls me into the cold present. On the edge of the library on the other realm, my eyes soured at the sight of it. At least I have you. I touch the eel snuggling next to me. Glancing at the spot on my body that still tingles, I can't glimpse even a tiny seam. The hole is completely gone. Something swells in me, a buzzing lightness that lifts me up. When I look at the rest of them, the pitch black holes like eyeless sockets staring back at me, I'm no longer overwhelmed by dread. A sliver of curiosity is there too. Just how many of these are there? Are there any on my backside? Straining to look behind only makes me turn in circles. The eel gives me a worried look. I want to see my own behind. I mean, my back. You know what I mean. I wiggle my tendrils impatiently. The eel trumpets, transforms into a mirror disc once more and angles itself to give me a better look. Is that... I blink again and again, but the horrible sight remains. Nearly the entire backside of my egg-shaped vessel is missing. It takes a while for my breath to calm. I turn to the eel. Do you know where... It yaps before I can finish, sniffs furiously at the vast emptiness and dashes out. Don't you worry, I can do this. I give Ilar a squeeze and then hurry after my pet eel into the void. It's impossible to tell the passage of time, nor space for that matter, but there's naught but blackness in every direction. The feeble ambient light of the library is long gone. In the unnerving silence and darkness, more strands on my vessel can be seen, too numerous to count. A thin one dies away before my eyes, leaving behind only a dullness in its place. A part of me goes numb, to slumber, never to wake. The empty expanse has no end to it, and neither does the cold. The further I go, the colder it becomes. At first, a thin, chilly current chills me here and there, but eventually icy currents are pressing and scraping my shell from every side, and I cannot stop shivering. I could be pushing through icy slush, or maybe I may be entombed already. How's one to tell the difference? I cannot stop shivering. How far have I come? For how long have I been going like this? My body is so heavy. There's nothing to see or hear, nothing to feel. There was the pain of the cold, but now that's turning into numbness. There's only numbness. Only numbness. My head is so dull and thick that even Abyss Devara's monstrous illumination would be preferable to this indeterminable void. You know you're in a bad place when you find yourself missing Abyss Devara. You've no one to blame but yourself. I'm all alone here, as you should be. No one would even know how I perished. Only the eel, perhaps. The thought chills me all the more, and no one would care. I absent-heartedly reach for the cut on my wrist, the anchor that's brought me back from the edge of delirium and madness numerous times. But there's no wrist, let alone a cut. I'm in the sea with no anchor. You think they can help you? They can't even help themselves. What have I done? What have you done? The eel continued yapping. The eels continued yapping. Finally penetrates the thick fog around me. I take a few blinks to muster a response. What is it but... My words are cut short when I finally notice a faint star meandering ahead. A spark of hope quickens my pulse. I beat my stiff tendrils faster. The point of light grows. Yes, I'll lure another fish. It pulses now and then, and with each pulse an ache from the far recesses of my heart gnaws at me. It's so good to feel something, even pain. I begin to smile. And then my smile is frozen. A shape is intruding into the glow of the fish, a monstrous crab's claw. It's reaching for it, for my memory. Go faster, I hiss at my tendrils. They quiver with effort and reject my command. Useless things. Please, not now, not when I'm so... The claw is closing around the fish. My vision blurs. You came for nothing. I feel the cold creep through me, eating what's left. Boy, help, I try to say, but no sound comes. Is this how I end? Defeated by nothingness? You were nothing to begin with. No. A spark comes to life within me, at that mocking tone of the question, and at the very possibility of it. I will set myself ablaze and boil this rum whole before I yield what is mine. The spark in my heart sprouts a flame and I clutch it. There comes a blinding pain, this feeling. I remember it. I see it. Grim-faced men and women in long robes towering over me, speaking down at me with ashy voices, informing me of the life I will live, the person I would become, the purpose, their purpose I shall fulfill. Sink them all. I will have a life so contrary as to make them spin in their graves. I squeeze the memory hard, letting the unbearable pain sear me as I pull it out from the depth of my heart. A shockwave erupts from my throat, shaking the space itself as it rushes toward the claw, striking it with a blinding flash and a sound that makes my ears ring. My heart races. Drunk with power, I did it. What a magnificent spell, if only Ilar could see. And my celebration is cut short. Before the ringing in my ear has time to stop, the claw is already back, unscathed and gingerly reaching for the fish again. The filthy thief. Before I can try anything, I have a feeling that something behind me is starting to move. A bad feeling. It was something of such immensity that I must have mistook it for the endless expanse itself until now. Terror freezes me in place, the way the cold could not manage. With a groan, then another, the heart-numbingly large beast beats its titanic tail and cruises away. An immense force sucks me back, building in intensity, and then suddenly ceases. Oh no. I brace myself. My head reels, throat locked too tight to scream as I fly forward, slammed by a solid wall of water. It's a miracle in itself that I somehow pull Ilar to me before they're blown away. Flapping my one free tendril furiously in the turbulence, I try to slow myself, but I may as well be trying to stop a river with a spoon. I give up and peer around frantically, but I'm spinning too fast to make sense of anything. A glint catches my eye from above, a patch of brightness with a familiar tint. Impossible. It could be. It must be. I've been thrown toward the fish, but at this pace I'll shoot past it and be lost in the endless expanse, unless I smash to vapors against the crab first. The monstrous waves grip me tight and thrash me like a bubble. My tendrils are beyond exhaustion now. I stare at the fish, longing and regret churning within me, but there's nothing I can do. A black stripe darts across my field of view and swims next to me. The eel! It's caught up to me somehow. It wraps its tail around me and squeezes tightly. I'd scream for joy if I could. You wonderful good boy. I'm saved. I'm saved! Now just pull me out of this current and slow down. There's a forward tug on my tendril. We're speeding up. The eel's fins are a set of blurs as it accelerates. What are you doing? I try to call out, but my voice is drowned by the din. The eel's glowing eyes look ahead with a singular focus. I turn toward where it's aiming for. The crab. We're shooting straight for it. Oh no, not again. I would squeeze my eyes shut if I had them. Clang. The impact is enough to shake me apart. For a flash, all I see is white, and all I hear is a rolling, reverberating thunder. I come to with a wince, head still spinning, lights dancing in my view. When my vision finally focuses, 3 symbolic fish are floating within arm's reach. By the depth, I can't believe I found them. I suppose every eel has its day. My heart sings at their comforting glow, yet my tendrils, though they reach out eagerly at first, recoil from the shining memories, just shy of grasping them. Memories fabricated of my being, torn from my heart, how I long to be reunited with them, and to patch up these holes in myself. But why do I shrink from them now that they're in reach? Why do I fear them so? Tisk tisk, how easily you forget. Oh right, where's Ilar? I turn around, horror blooming within me, then melting as fast when I spot Ilar nearby. My relief is short-lived. Their vessel is so grey and tattered, this can't be good. I've been so obsessed with chasing these fish I haven't thought about Ilar at all. A sound from behind me makes my ears prick up. I turn around very slowly to find an enormous crab clawing a hair from my face. Ah! I stumble back, flailing my tendrils. The claw, to my amazement, yelps and retracts into a giant conch shell. I'm only now making out in the dimness. I pull Ilar's defenseless sigil to me. The eel swims to my side and coils in anticipation, looking even bigger and meaner than before. I'm so very glad it's on my side. The sound drifts forth from the huge creature like a cascade of hollow shells being struck. Some sound tinny and flat, while others enormous and deep, but strangely, I hear meaning wrapped within the sounds, words and phrases. Again, not again. Just like that time when the horn of Nemos, gah, so close, slipped by a hair. Then there was that sky stone bowl. Oh, it was so precious. Had it in my pocket too, that thieving imp. And the peacock lantern. Oh, how close I was. Burnt to ashes. Might as well have burned my own heart. Hello? I decided to chance speaking. The mumbling hushes instantly. A few breaths later, the tip of a pincer gingerly pokes out and peeks at me. My brows fly up. How does it do that? Is someone in there? I venture again. The claw ducks back inside. Huh? I scratch my head. It's afraid of me. How refreshing. I mean you no harm. You can come out. After a bout of shivering, the claw pokes out. Pardon me, I thought you were on the run from that thing. But it looks like you have things well in hand. Silly me. Huh? I look at the eel who whelps. This, my good companion. Oh, he'll not harm you, I promise. It listens to you? You swear that it's truthful? The voice is like jelly, feeble with a note of whimpering. Yes, I swear to Shrew. There's a stretch of laboured breathing, and then its voice steadies somewhat. Then we make a compactum. You harm me not, and I harm you not. State your name to seal it. Certainly. I say, not at all certain. My name is Vyn. I agree to this compact. A compactum, he chirps aggressively. Yes, sure, compactum, no harm. I back away a smidgen, looking as harmless as I can. Not very difficult when I'm an egg. He clears his throat with an air of officiality. The hermit agrees as well. Phew, alright, I'm coming out. Make room if you please. He clears his throat with an air of oh wait, no, I'm there. As he speaks, the claw emerges from the shell and it keeps emerging and emerging until I have to move back. The shell must be bigger on the inside than the outside. It's a TARDIS. I wait for a few breaths for the rest of him, but it appears this claw is all I'm getting. The hermit sidles around me, away from the eel and Ilar. You're one of those treasure hunters, isn't you? And to be clear, you said your name is Vyn? For the love of... I roll my phantom eyes. Take a deep breath and compose myself. Yes, I am, and I know nothing about this treasure hunting business. I am a magus, and I want to get out of here. A magus? And lost, you say? He leans to the side, to peek behind me. Your fearsome companion is lost as well, is it? You expect me to purchase such a tale? You may wear a shallowling's guise, but I know a treasure hunter when I see one. The pincers snap toward the fish things in agitation. Use here to steal my shards. Your shards? I glance at the glowing memory fish. I'm fairly certain those things you call shards are my memories. Your memories? Sure they are. He squints at Ilar. Sure they are. But you've no gift for deception, shallowling. If they were parts of you, well, you would be in tatters. Hollow even. In tatters, you mean like this? I turn my back to the hermit, where I know the horrific gaping hole is. Is this tattered enough? But why did they not if... Oh, alright. They could be yours. I grant you that. The fish sticks. He whimpers as if it's him who's lost his memories. Why me? Why this? I've come so far and end up empty-clawed. Should have bargained with that billow some ways back. Could have gotten one shot at least. I haven't seen the likes of them in ages. It's so fragrant. You mean there are more of them here? Where are they? How can you tell they're the same kind? I might be old, but I ain't senile. The nose knows. This odor. He inhales deeply. No mistake. Nuh-uh. Where are they? My chest tightens. That's, trade secret. Where are they? Growling, I press forward with every word. The hermit shivers and retreats. Wait, let's be calm. The compactum. Without realizing it, I find my tendrils grasping the pincer. There's a sharp hiss as a scalding pain lances into me and I remember myself. I hang back, feeling my cheeks burn as well as my tendrils. I'm sorry, I didn't mean... I sigh, hugging myself, unable to keep my voice from quivering. I'm not myself. I've forgotten so much. Everything, actually. Oh, I do sympathize. The hermit's voice is almost genuine. If you do, then tell me where the rest of the shards are, please. Gone. Well, most of them anyway. To the lower fathoms they went, along with the shallows, all such shallows remains. Such a shame. It's remarkable you're alive, by the by. I'd be delighted if you'd turn around and let me examine. I cross my tendrils and stare blankly at him, brows slowly wrinkling. Oh, sorry, right. There might be a few left up here, if other treasure hunters, the scallywags, didn't get to them first. Can I not go to the lower fathoms to get them? Are you absolutely simple? No. He's not a spirit. Have you hit your... Oh, sorry. I like this guy. I feel a chilling numbness spread through me. Gone, my memories. All those moments, laughter, tears, sorrow, restless dreams and lonely quietude, all gone. Look on the bright side. The hermit picks up his tone an octave. You got these? That's something. Oh, that one smells nice. It's bound to buy you some safety. Take it from me. I've been at this for an eon. The nose knows. The eel herds the shards closer to me and whimpers. This is all I have. All I am, I whisper hoarsely. Well, they may not seem much, but you can do a lot with them, the hermit offers helpfully. Like what? I ask hopefully. The hermit gulps. You said you want to get back to the shallows, and your companion won't survive the trip. Nuh-uh. It can't even feed by itself by the shape of it, but fear not. I've just the thing. Just the thing. Crystallized waters. Very fine. Very fine. Restores your companion. Gets them back to the shallows, For a very fair price. Price? But I do not have anything. Not true, we can bargain. The hermit is positively giddy. It's the most cheerful I've seen him yet, and yet it does not put me at ease. He wants the shard. The claw ducks into the shell, and then comes the sound of rifling, metallic clinking, bumps and thuds, all accompanied by jovial humming. Then he emerges, pinching a jewel. As soon as he brings it closer, I feel an eerily familiar presence, like seeing a face in the crowd that belongs to a friend I've known but forgotten. But what my eyes see is an oval jewel of rich violet, the colour of the moonless sky. See the opulence of its chroma? The luxuriousness of its weftage. Weftage? The fuck is weftage? The ostentatity of its refulgeny. You'll be hard pressed to find another crystallized water like this up here. Are you making up words? Stop that. Oh, I tremble in awe, just to think of its beautiful form, of the one who shed this. 'Twas no ordinary being, no, such a beauty. You cannot know the restraint it took for me not to drink from it in the 3 turns it's been in my care. Oh, no. 'Tis unfathomable to you, unfathomable. I like to think I can fathom quite a lot. I peer into the jewel. Tiny grains of light blink, adrift in the stream that twists and loops into itself. It takes effort to pull away. He seems very pleased with himself, too pleased. I lean back and cross my tendrils. It seems adequate. Adequate? It's extraordinary. With the prudent application of this much waters, you can... He gestures wildly. You can buy a kingdom. You should make your boasts at least somewhat plausible. This? A kingdom? I flick a tendril dismissively. The claw bristles. Sure, why not? Kingdom in the shallows rise and fall like foam on the waves. Maybe not a big kingdom, but maybe a kingdom of animals. Dogs? Cats? He coughs. In any case, it'd be more than you'd know what to do with. I stroke where my chin should be. Enough to seal the abyss devourer? The hermit stares at me a breath and then bursts out laughing. Sure, Shallowling, if you can find a spell to accomplish such a feat. But don't hold your breath. What's so funny about that? You do not think me capable? I'm not sure such a spell exists, and if it does, it shall be worth well. I can't think of a number big enough. It will be worth a lot. The claw quivers. Why should something so abundant be worth so much? Huh? Whatever do you mean? We're somewhere in the seas, right? I wave a tendril, feeling the resistance as it moves through some invisible medium. Are we not swimming in waters? You think this is waters? The hermit looks as though he's in dire pain as he guffaws. Oh, to be so naive again. What I'd give. No, shallowling. We're not in the seas. We are in the near shallows. It's barely the foams atop the waves. He turns his crusty pincer in a wide circle. Only droplets and vapors here. This is nothing. But this, he whispers at the jewel, is the stuff of the fathoms. If we were swimming in this, he shudders, crackling all over, shedding a cloud of barnacles and dredges. I back away. The divine bliss, the unintelligible ecstasy that had invaded us. Oh, we lose our want of treasures. Horrible. He finishes with another dramatic shudder. Wait, you've not liked that? Not one drop. Have you any notion how long it took me to amass this hoard? The hermit wobbles his claw from side to side, producing a waterfall of jingling sounds from somewhere inside. How much do you have in there? It could be more. He covers his opening and turns away modestly, but I can't seem to help sharing my shards. I scratch what I think is my head. If you have all that, then why do you want my memories? What good are they to you? I gasp. Don't tell me you're some kind of miscreant who spies on other people's private moments. What? Do you know nothing? How am I to unravel your shards? That is, if they're even yours. And how have you survived down here for so long? What can I do with them? I'll tell you. He wobbles in exasperation. I can live, that's what. The next Lucasi I swim across will be too busy consuming one of these to have me, old shell. What I can do with them, I cross my tendril arms. I have no idea what you're on about, but I unravel shards just fine. If by unravel you mean remember. You see these holes in me? I patched up one with a shard and relived a moment of my life not long ago. It made me feel alive. So I need them to live too, alright? The hermit regards me suspiciously. He's really sticking with that story about these being yours, isn't you? They are mine. If you're not going to believe me, then let us move on to bargaining. Just tell me what you want. Well, the claw clacks with pretend indecision. I glance warily at the painfully brilliant shard. You want that one? Yes. I mean, it'd only be fair. You're sure, just that one? I keep my tone casual. Well, wouldn't want to be greedy, eh? I can almost smell the grease in his voice. I turn away from the hermit thinking, that much waters will surely aid us against the Bistivara, but if I give up my memory, I'll never know what I've lost. It's one of the last things I'm likely to find ever. Why are there no easy choices in this world? The claw quivers in anticipation. Offer a different shard. Well, we'll wrap this one up here because we're definitely out of time for this episode, but I didn't want to stop in the middle of that conversation because it's my favorite part of the game so far. I think talking to this hermit guy has been awesome. Really enjoyed that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.